Busy guys who ignore this advice will stay stuck on yo-yo diets, donating to the gym every month, while getting fatter and waiting for life to be less busy. I know it's frustrating when you're super strict on your diet and exercise, but don't get the lean body you expected. This was my reality until I figured out how nutrition and training actually work. But even the busiest CEOs I work with get and stay lean without spending hours in the gym or the kitchen every day. By following my 4 best pieces of advice that's kept me lean for 8 years straight, which I'm about to share with you too. But first, I need to show you how to avoid setting the wrong fat loss goal. The majority of men who are over 30 are also over 20% body fat. Some even over 30%, which is in the obese category. But when men tell me they want to lose weight, I ask them, how much do you want to lose? And they often say like, I need to drop about 20 pounds or so that they can be healthier and have a lean muscle toned body to feel great about their body shape again. However, when I do the math, I often realize their goal is wrong. Let's imagine that you are 5'10", about 178 centimeters tall, and sitting at 210 pounds, which is about 95 kilograms, and approximately 28% body fat. And your goal is to get lean with muscle definition, which means you need to be at least 13% body fat to see your six-pack outline. So that's about 15% body fat to drop, which is approximately 31.5 pounds. So I see this happen all the time when guys underestimate their goal and they actually need to drop 10 or 20 pounds more than what they expect. This is important. Because if your mind is fixed on a set weight goal, say 190 pounds, and when you achieve that weight and you're not lean, but you're also not fat, this creates a new problem, being the mental battle in your mind. Because you've reached the 190 pounds, but you're not lean like you expected, which makes it mentally tough to keep pushing to get even leaner. So instead of focusing on just the scale weight alone, what helped me get and stay ripped is focusing on body fat percentage as the primary indicator of success. But you'll never get to 13% body fat or below unless you can switch on fat loss mode, no matter how busy or hectic your life actually is. And I'll show you how to do that in this second piece of advice. So let's imagine your body is like a bank account. Money goes in and money goes out, like food going in and food going out. And the savings left in the account is like the fat left around our body. So if you want to get leaner, we have to spend more of that body fat, like spending more savings. And there are 2 ways you can do this. I'll tell you the hard way first. Now, you probably already know that we cannot gain body fat from oxygen or from water. We have to eat more food if we want to get fatter. So to lose body fat, then the opposite is true, meaning we ultimately have to eat less food. However, most busy guys make this mistake of trying to jam more and more exercise into their already tightly packed schedule to try and burn more fat. Not realizing that they cannot out-train a bad diet. Because unless you've got 2 to 4 hours a day to do solid exercise, which you probably don't if you're over 30, married with kids, and work full time or in your business, there's simply not enough free time in the day to burn off all the body fat solely from exercise or workouts alone. This is why doing more exercise is the hard way. So let me show you the easy way. So let's imagine you're having a super busy day, back-to-back meetings, your kids are feeling unwell, and you're working overtime. But you still need to reach your fat loss goals for the day. Well, you have a choice to make. Option 1, you need to somehow find 45 minutes in your already jam-packed schedule and stressful day to fit in exercise that you're not getting because you're sitting down all day. Or option 2, you can simply shave off some calories across all of your meals. If you choose option 1, you may burn up to 150 calories in 45 minutes. But if you choose option 2, you can shave off 150 calories simply by not eating them. This is why option 2 is the easier way that works for guys who are just generally always busy. But this doesn't mean that you should starve yourself either. Because if we eat next to nothing, we're gonna be hungry all day, our energy levels are gonna drop, it's gonna be harder for us to push and hit targets in our workouts, which makes it harder to build muscle. But we can also lose muscle and decrease our testosterone. This happened to me when I got ripped at 6% body fat to compete in bodybuilding. I was ripped, but man, I felt like a zombie. No energy, headaches, struggled to get my workouts done, and I had 0 libido for like 3 months. So this is why it's important to eat as much food as possible while maintaining a fat loss mode in our body. Now I get that may sound a little counterintuitive to eat as much as possible while losing fat, but I'll explain. Now most guys think, like I once did, that we need to be hitting the gym 5, 6, 7 times a week to shed fat and get lean. But like I said before, we can't out-train a bad diet. And if you're anything like the successful men in my program, you don't have time to train 6 days a week. However, this next piece of advice is the key to eat more food while shedding fat long term. Most guys are overtraining but underachieving in their physical results. For example, we could do a killer 45-minute workout, but we may only burn 150 calories, which is the equivalent of like 2 eggs, 1.5 bananas, or a palm full of nuts. Even if they did work out in the gym every single day, you can see how such a small calorie burn will not enhance the fat loss mode by much. This was another hard lesson I learned after reaching 6% body fat, which I don't recommend to anyone, because I was doing 45 minutes of fasted cardio every single morning, on top of 5 workouts a week. But when I wasn't cycling or lifting weights, I was sitting on my ass all day. So even though I felt like I was burning a lot of fat, I actually wasn't. And this became a problem because I had to sacrifice more and more food in order to keep shedding more body fat. Look, I didn't know any better back then. You know, we all have to learn things the hard way sooner or later. And so there is one thing that most guys overlook that will enhance their fat loss mode, allowing them to eat more food while getting leaner. And it's not doing hours on the treadmill, rower, or the cycle, or any other form of cardio. Because on average, we're awake for 16 hours every day. That is a long time, so we can accumulate a lot of steps and a lot of movement over 16 hours without needing to do any hardcore cardio. Because if every hour we stood up and moved around, walked around the office or the house or the block, or I don't care, just ran on the spot, that would add up to 80 minutes of movement across the entire day, which is approximately 8,000 steps. Because 10 minutes of, say, walking is about 1,000 steps. So what's easier, driving to the gym to walk on a treadmill for 30 minutes, or just simply moving around more consistently throughout the day? I'm not saying don't do cardio, but if you're juggling a busy lifestyle, then this is the easiest way to enhance your fat loss mode, just by moving around for literally any reason at all that you can, any excuse to get up and move around. It all counts. And the good thing about just walking or power walking, it's a low intensity, it doesn't exhaust our body or our brain or make us even hungrier, which is great because the extra movement elevates our metabolism, which makes fat loss even easier. So if we set a target of 10,000 steps per day on average and keep it consistent, we can eat a good amount of food while continuing to get leaner and leaner and leaner. Which means we won't feel starved or need to miss out on any tasty family dinners or business lunches. So far, there is a common theme in these points of advice that I've given. Let's see if you can notice it as I reveal the piece that most guys are missing, that's stopping them from getting lean while building muscle and maintaining it long term. Could you imagine trying to run a successful business without having any data on revenue, expenses, or profits? Well, you wouldn't know what's working and would likely eventually make a bad decision, which could harm or destroy the business completely. And this is what most guys are doing with their training and nutrition. They're flying blind while focusing on super strict diets and way too many workouts, which is why it never lasts long term, when they could be doing a simple, sustainable and flexible nutrition plan while maintaining a workout that actually fits within their schedule. So this missing piece is biofeedback data, because when you track your biofeedback data, you'll see what is working and you can optimize your diet and training to fit your unique lifestyle to get and stay lean. You no longer need any generic diets or plans or apps or challenges ever again, because you can just customize your own plan, which is exactly what I do for my clients inside of my metabolic recomp method. And there are a few essential metrics that you need to track, including steps, calorie burn, food calories, protein, body fat percentage, weight, muscle mass, sleep quality, resting heart rate. And there is a lot more that you could track, but this is more than enough to reach 13% body fat or below and maintain it long term. And what really helps is to have all this data in one place, in one app, so that you can quickly monitor your weekly trends to see whether you're on track or off track, or you can optimize it on the go, because ultimately what gets you from point A to point B isn't guaranteed to get you to point C. There's going to be changes that are required along the journey of transforming your body shape. And this is what my metabolic recomp app does automatically for my one-on-one clients. So now that you've got my best advice, you won't actually get lean or reach 30% body fat or sustain it long term unless you actually implement this advice and put it into an actionable plan. And when you do, you will shred body fat while gaining muscle and ultimately end up with a physique that looks like Daniel Craig in Bond or Brad Pitt in Fight Club. And I can show you how to do that step by step in this video right here. Go watch it now. Or grab a copy of my Get Ripped report below in the description. Thanks for watching.